Hi guys, I'm here today to do a the past 3 week wrap up. So the end of October, the last week of October, and the first 2 weeks in November. Again, sorry this is so late. I've just had a busy 3 weeks, and yeah. I read a total of 15. Hold on, I need to grab one more book. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I read a total of 14 books in the last 3 weeks. I'm going to start with my Kindle books and move on to the physical books. The first book I read, well, this is going out of order, but is The Playbook by Kelly Elliott. This follows Audrey, who is a sports reporter and wants to make it to the NFL sidelines. But she's stuck doing an interview from a college football coach named Brett, and she has to follow him for a month. And he coaches at the University of Austin, and she has to follow him around for a month. And they don't start off very well, a lot of stuff happens, but I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. I really did enjoy it. So yes. The next book I read is Unexpected Treasure by Melody Ann. This is book 1 in the Lost Anderson series. I would highly recommend you read Billionaire Bachelors before you read this series, because you will be lost. But this follows a lost brother of the two older pops and the Billionaire Bachelors series, and they find him, and he has 4 kids. He has 3 sons and one daughter, and this one follows his first son. What is his name? This is why I write stuff down. Crew and Haley. This is Crew and Haley. Crew owns a resort, and somehow Haley wins a week-long vacation to that resort, and then she meets Crew, and she's actually using this time trying to be able to seduce a guy she likes, and she asks Crew to help her. I give this 3 out of 5 stars. It was enjoyable, and I will probably continue on with this series. The next book I read was book 8 in the Seattle With Me in Seattle series by Kristen Proby, and that is Breathe With Me, and this follows Meredith and Mark. This is a second chance romance, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Did enjoy it. Mark, I don't remember what he does. He's a construction worker, or like an architect, and Meredith is a dancer, and she teaches dance. I gave it 4 out of 5. Then I read I Am Free by Regina Bartley, and this follows Grace and Jackson. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. Really enjoyed this. This follows Grace, who had a very strict family, and she was very sheltered. She didn't really get to live like most kids. I would say she's kind of like Amish, but not like that extreme. And when she turned 18, she decides to move to Colorado where her aunt lives, and so she could have more freedom. And then she meets Jackson and his sister. For the life of me, I can't think of her name. And stuff happens, and it's very good. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. And the last book I read, I'm not going to show you yet because I read the books 2 and 3 before I read this one. So let me show you those ones first. I read books 2 and 3 in the Hades Hangman series by Tilly Cole. So I read Heart Recaptured and Souls Unfractured, and then I read Deep Redemption, which is the one on my Kindle. So I'll start with Heart Recaptured. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. Really enjoyed it. This series is very heavy, and I mean heavy. It follows a motorcycle gang and a cult, religious cult. And so some of the topics they talk about are rape and drugs and alcohol, and some of the language people might find offensive. Just because they're a motorcycle and they have terms that they use for their women that some people might find offensive. If you do not like any of that, I would not recommend this series. But if you don't care and you're looking for like a great series like that, then I highly recommend this series. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. This follows Layla and Kai's. Kai is the vice president of the motorcycle club, and Layla is one of the sisters. And I gave it 5 out of 5. Very good. Then I read Souls Unfractured, and this is Flame and Maddie's book, and again, it deals with those heavy topics, so just be aware. And this was my favorite book so far in the series, and I really did enjoy it. 5 out of 5. And then Deep Redemption is Harmony's and Writer's Arcane book. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars too. So yeah, just highly recommend that series. Just be aware. And then I read Her Unexpected Hero by Melody Annie. This is book 1 in the Hero series, Unexpected Hero series. And this follows Jackson, right? Yeah, and Alyssa. They met one day in Paris on New Year's Eve, and their flight was delayed, and one thing led to another, and they had a one-night stand, and then Alyssa moved back to her parents' house, and she's pregnant with Jackson's baby, and then turns out he owns the bar she's working in, and stuff happens. I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. Did enjoy it. Probably will continue on with the series, but don't know. And then mostly this, I'm gonna talk about the book I finished today, and then I'll talk about the last 5 because it's a series. So the one I finished today is To Professor with Love by Linda Cage. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. This was a reread to me, and I absolutely love this series and book. And it's book 2 in the Forbidden Men series. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars, as I said, and this is Aspens and Niall, I don't know. I'm just saying Noelle. This book, and Aspen is a 23-year-old professor, lit professor, and Noel, I think is probably how you say it, Noel is the quarterback of their college, and he is in Aspen's class, and he gets a D on one of his papers, and he doesn't like that grade, and so somehow his coach finds out, and talks to Aspen's boss, and they're not so politely say she has to help him do better in this class, so she lets him remake the paper, or rewrite the paper, and somehow he gets an A. And this book, you find out that something bad happened to Aspen. Again, this has slight reference to rape, so just beware. And kind of neglect and abuse. And you meet Caroline and Colton and Bannet, who are Noen, I don't know how to say his name, so, brothers and sister, and you get Mason from the first book, and, Ten and Pick, so, yeah. But on to the last 5 I read. Mostly they are the last 5 books in the Morganville Vampires. So I read book 10, Last Breath. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. Black Dawn. No, this is what one is this? That's 15, 14, 13, 12. So this is 11. 12, Black Dawn, 5 out of 5 stars. Whoops, and they just fell. 13, Bitter Blood, 5 out of 5. Fall of Night, 14, 5 out of 5. And Daylighters, the book 15, 5 out of 5. This book series follows Claire, Eve, Michael, and Shane, and they live in the town Morganville, Texas, and just a lot of stuff happens, a lot of crazy stuff happens, and I really do enjoy this series. So yeah, those are all 14 books I've read this past 3 weeks. So if you've read any of these and want like a full review, just let me know, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.